season.
No, we ain't ready for the season, but we're ready for hear what Cam Newton had to say, man.
Oh boy.
Captain speaking of Kirk Cousins contract. If you give Kirk Cousins my resume, he probably would have gotten more. The more means that Kirk Cousins had a $180 million contract for 4 years with the Atlanta Falcons. Bro, Angie, start with me for a minute, right? Because I'm just gonna pause, right? Just ask you this: what is he saying? Is he right or is he wrong? It's not much about is he right or wrong. Just I know you about to go ahead. Okay.
He's 1,000% right, and this context is just a little snippet of what he was talking about. He's trying to say, not only is he first his agent, well done, bro, because you're getting this man paid for somebody who's been in the league for 12 years and one playoff win. But that's not only that. He's 32, 33. He's somewhere around that age. He's coming off an Achilles injury.
Right.
When Cam Newton had his Liz Frank injury, they were like, every team was pretty much, we either take you as a backup or you're done to us.
Right.
When I think we all believe that Cam Newton is a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins.
Definitely.
So how is somebody like this that's coming off an injury at his age getting this money? Like, so if you get Kirk Cousins and you give him Cam's resume, and it seemed, I mean, it didn't seem, I mean, it was obvious to me, Cam was definitely throwing in that race card in there. Like, if this was a black quarterback, then would we even give him a shot, or we lowball him? But we got a Kirk Cousins who's just the dad next door. He's a funny guy. He's cool, and there's nothing wrong. He's a stand-up NFL player. I mean, he doesn't get in trouble. So let's just reward him with $180 million contract for 4 years, coming off an injury that a lot of people really don't come back from at that age. So it's a gamble, but I see what he was trying to say there, and I 1,000% agree with what Cam Newton said tenfold.
Wow. Listen, I agree with you, man. 1,000,000%, he was right. But also, I was trying to think, what's the reason why teams would do anything like that? Like pay a guy like him that kind of money, and then don't pay another quarterback who's more accomplished the same kind of money. First of all, let's also remember, I know Cam Newton is not that old, but it's a little bit of a different era. Right. There's been a few years past. I don't think Kirk Cousins would have gotten this kind of money if it was 5 years ago.
Right.
It's a different quarterback market. But having said that, still, I just wonder, and I don't want to bring in the race card. I mean, I don't want to say because he's a white quarterback or it's a black quarterback. I'm just trying to understand why teams do that. I mean, he's a great leader. I'm not talking about Kirk Cousins. He's a great leader. Players love him in the locker room. But like you say, 12 years, one playoff game. I mean, he has had very good regular season games and record.
Yeah.
You can't take away from that. But when it comes to playoff, he hasn't done too much to deserve. I guess it's not in my place to say who deserves what. But it just seems like they overpaid for him. And I don't know why they would not. My question is if Patrick Mahomes, who has won multiple Super Bowls and accomplished more, let's say he was at this age and his career was declining, would they give him the same kind of money? It's just a question. You know what I mean? I don't know if they would or not. If they wouldn't, they definitely got to be rest because Patrick Mahomes is way more accomplished. So if he doesn't get that kind of money, he gets us as fans thinking, why is that? We know like you say, he's a great citizen. He never gets in trouble. He's fun to be around. He's good with the media, and the NFL loves him. But again, also we have to look at the team that actually paid him. These are desperate teams that are trying to start winning. I assume they were ready to throw money at any quarterback that showed up, right? I would assume.
Yeah.
Let's not also forget that the Cleveland Browns threw money at a black quarterback who was just in trouble. And they pissed off the rest of the team because they gave him a crazy contract. So I don't know if it has to do with race because we have another player here getting paid, and then we have Kirk Cousins getting paid. But it's something that I wouldn't fault people for wondering why is this guy getting paid kind of money when he hasn't accomplished anything. But I don't know. Listen, these GMs and these teams, I guess they know better.
But Angie, man, that's a good point for both of you guys. But Angie, my question is like, why does Camp Newton always get shitted on when he made comments? Like, what do you think is going on? Like, what's really is it?
They don't like him. People don't like him. He's very flamboyant. The way he dresses, the way he speaks, the way he looks.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
The way he just all those things.
For whatever reason, there's just certain players. It doesn't have to be quarterbacks. They're just certain players. Whatever they say, listen. These players could be right. These players could be wrong.
Right.
But the media is not going to come out here and say, even though he could be right, they're not going to say he's right. We're going to make a story out of this.
Right.
And we're gonna twist your words and say that you're wrong. Why is a black man calling out a white quarterback? Because these are the articles that I'm reading. Why are you calling out these people by name? Why are you saying that a white quarterback is getting this money? He didn't say white quarterback, he said Kirk Cousins. But how come you couldn't, like you said, you couldn't mention Deshaun? Well, Deshaun got his money, and then he goes on it. He's talking about, well, Kirk Cousins is just he's a button-up human being. Like Tony Romo, who got a huge deal out of CBS, and he called out Tony Romo by his name. So it's like, while he is making waves, spot the lie. He's telling the truth. People just don't like that he's putting a name on it, that he's calling it out, but he calls it as he see it.
Right. There's that saying that the truth is the truth. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. It could be coming from the worst person on the planet. If it's the truth, it doesn't change the fact that it's the truth.
Well, you're right about that. Unless if it's in the media don't want to hear that. Like both of you guys just I say it, but dude, man, this guy, some of the points he made, even about game managing quarterbacks, he doesn't really say these quarterbacks can't play.
Right.
But he just said that they're not a game changer like Patrick Mahomes,
right,
the Josh Allens, all that kind of stuff like that.
And
Aaron Rodgers.
And not to cut you off, that's a good point because when talking about him criticizing quarterbacks, just like you mentioned, remember a few months ago, he did mention Dak Prescott and a bunch of other quarterbacks who he called he say game managers, and people were going off crazy. So he talks about all quarterbacks, like black, white. He just says the way he feels. And a lot of times he's right, but because it's coming from him, there's always a bigger story than what the point he was trying to put across. But I agree with him 100%. If Kirk Cousins had the same resume that Cam had, went to the Super Bowl, won MVP, was one of the best players in the league, his contract would have been probably the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Wow. Now,